हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू जुडिशल एकेडमी। आज जिस टॉपिक के बारे में बात करेंगे वो है लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग। नाउ दिस वीक इज क्वाइट मेमोरेबल, historic week for Supreme Court, isn't it? Because live streaming has started for the Supreme Court's hearing. And in this video today, we are going to learn lot of details about live streaming, like the provisions, like the case laws, the pros and the cons, and the guidelines regarding live streaming. So please do watch this video till the very end, because this video is going to give you overall perspective about the live streaming, where we're going to discuss in detail. Okay, so let's get started with this video. So before getting started with this video, मैं दो चीज आप लोगों से शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। पहला, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, YouTube channel, please do subscribe to this YouTube channel, because we come up with important case analysis video and also important weekly legal talks and CLAT PG net preparation videos are also there. So please do subscribe to this channel. And also CLAT PG 2023 preparation के लिए आपके लिए एक कोर्स फाइन ट्यून किया गया है. The link of that course is given below. You can go and check it out. चलिए आज के वीडियो टॉपिक के बारे में बात करते हैं, वो है लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग. नाउ लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग तो अभी 2022 इस वीक की बात है, बट द हिस्ट्री, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द हिस्ट्री फर्स्ट. क्योंकि हिस्ट्री अगर हम लोग देखें लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग के और ओपन कोर्ट के सपोर्ट के बारे में, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अगर हिस्टोरिकल चीज में हम लोग जाके ढूंढे तो दिस डेट्स बैक टू 1996. ओके, लाइक 1996 में एक केस था, नरेश श्रीधर मिराजकर वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र. इस केस में बेसिकली फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम सुप्रीम कोर्ट गिव द इम्प्लाइड कंसेंट टू द पब्लिक हियरिंग. Okay, public hearing in the sense open court hearing. Now in this case, though it's a totally different case altogether, where यहाँ पर जर्नलिस्ट आर्ग्यू कर रहे थे कि उनके राइट है टू basically report the court proceeding. In that case, the Supreme Court gave that implied nod regarding the open court, because Supreme Court also suggested in that case कि अगर ओपन कोर्ट हियरिंग होगा तो उसमें पब्लिक फेथ और कॉन्फिडेंस जुडिशियरी के ऊपर बढ़ेगा. फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव दिस हैज बीन कोटेड बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट. नाउ अभी बात करते हैं रीसेंट. ये केस इतनी फंडामेंटल था क्योंकि रिसेंटली जिस केस के बारे में हम लोग बात करेंगे वो केस, इसी केस के ऊपर बेसिकली पिटीशन फाइल किया गया था. ओके, सो लेट्स गेट इनटू द रीसेंट केस व्हिच वुड बी आवर मेन टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन and which actually given the backbone of live streaming of Supreme Court that we have witnessed. That case name is Swapnil Tripathi versus Union of India 2018. ये 2018 का केस है. यहाँ पर हम लोग इस केस के बारे में फैक्ट्स जानेंगे, इस केस के बारे में डिटेल डिस्कस करेंगे, जो गाइडलाइन सेट हुआ है इस केस में, जो प्रोस कॉन्स, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग दैट हैज बीन गिवन, वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस ईच एंड एवरीथिंग इन डिटेल. ठीक है, हम लोग सब उसके बारे में एक एक करके जानेंगे. लेट्स गेट इनटू द फैक्ट्स ऑफ द Swapnil Tripathi case. Now facts is very simple. Bunch of petitioners and interventionists approached the Supreme Court, filed a petition in regards to one very important aspect. That is, अगर कोई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इंपॉर्टेंस और नेशनल इंपॉर्टेंस के मैटर है उसको लाइव स्ट्रीम किया जाए सो दैट पब्लिक उसको देख पाए. दैट इज वन ऑफ द टॉपिक ऑफ द केस दैट वाज रेज्ड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर पिटीशन. नाउ सुप्रीम कोर्ट उसके बाद इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक को लेके दे गॉट इनटू द advantages of the live streaming, disadvantages of the live streaming, whether live streaming of the court proceeding should be done or not, इसके बारे में डिटेल में डिस्कस किए हैं. ठीक है, बट फर्स्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट गॉट इनटू द प्रोविजन, क्योंकि petitioners raised के अंडर आर्टिकल 145 सब क्लॉज 4 लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग के बारे में बताया जाता है impliedly, but which Supreme Court denied. Supreme Court said no, Article 144 of the Constitution doesn't talk about live streaming as such. It is more regards to pronouncement of the judgment. Whereas Supreme Court did find two provision, और जिसके बारे में इसके बारे में बताया जा सकता है. एक है 327 of the CRPC which talks about the open court hearing for the criminal inquiry, and the second is 153B of the CPC. So these two provisions are the main provisions where the open court hearing has been mentioned in any law that we can talk of. These are the two provisions. But provisions से उतना कुछ पता नहीं चलता because that provision doesn't talk about live streaming as such. Because as the society is dynamic, और आज हम लोग इस टाइम में आ चुके हैं, सब कुछ हम लोग डिजिटल एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं, कोविड के बाद तो और ज्यादा डिजिटल एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं, तो सिचुएशन इज क्वाइट डिफरेंट नाउ एंड दैट्स वेयर द अदर एस्पेक्ट्स कमिंग इनटू द पिक्चर, द प्रोज एंड द कॉन्स, बिकॉज नाउ सुप्रीम कोर्ट got into the, if live streaming is allowed, will that be advantages for public at large or even the court, or whether it would be going against the victim or the convict, that we're going to get into detail. ठीक है, so first let's talk about what are the pros of the live streaming. Now pros of the live streaming के बारे में सुप्रीम कोर्ट तीनों बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज के बारे में बात की है. एक, राइट टू एक्सेस टू जस्टिस ऑफ आर्टिकल 21, अंडर आर्टिकल 21, क्योंकि हम लोग के पास एक राइट टू एक्सेस टू जस्टिस है, हर पब्लिक के पास राइट टू एक्सेस टू जस्टिस है, एंड इफ एनी ऑफ द केस व्हिच इज ऑफ नेशनल इंपॉर्टेंस और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इंपॉर्टेंस और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच के कोई केस को अगर लाइव स्ट्रीम किया जाता है, एंड इफ पीपल एट लार्ज और पब्लिक एट लार्ज कैन एक्सेस द लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग, देन दैट विल बी वेरी वेरी fruitful to basically learn about how the court functions, and that will enhance the public faith on the judiciary. Not only that, that will give us that will serve the right to access to justice that we have. That's the first point the Supreme Court said. The second point, Supreme Court talks about the Article 19(1)(a), right to know and the right to receive information. क्योंकि Article 19(1)(a) के अंदर हम लोग के right to receive information and right to know वो भी एक चीज जो आते हैं, and if live streaming के द्वारा कोई constitutional और national importance के चीज if we are going to disseminate or if you are going to live stream, then in that case definitely the right to information, right to know about the court proceeding, how the court functions, and other necessary ingredients regarding the judiciary, that is also going to be informed to the larger mass. Another very important right is going to be served. And third very important point that Supreme Court suggested, that if live streaming is going to be given access to the public at large, then there are many litigants who have filed different cases in various courts, and for that they don't need to come to the court, or they don't need to hustle to come to the court, and for that their valuable time and their productivity will be saved. तो ये भी एक बहुत ही important point है regarding the live streaming of the case. So these are the various pros that the Supreme Court talked about. Now other than that, if the live streaming is done, it is also beneficial for various law students. They can access the proceeding from the comfort of their home. It is also helpful not only for the student of law, but also it's for the academician, the researcher, or whole legal fraternity. It will be very very easier, isn't it? And also right to access to justice that I talked about. So these are the various important factors the Supreme Court pointed out in regards to live streaming. Now second जिस साइड के बारे में सुप्रीम कोर्ट बात की है, and वो ऑटोमेटिकली उठ रहा था इस केस में, वो है what are the disadvantages, because there are certainly some disadvantages are also attached with the live streaming. And one very important question can be raised in this case: can Supreme Court live stream each and every case? Now in that case, in that situation, one very important aspect or right that is coming up again and again, that is right to privacy. Right to privacy of the convict and right to privacy of the victim, both equally important. Now I'm going to give you some example, like in case of sexual assaults or rape, where right to privacy of the victim is very important, all right? Whereas in cases of POCSO, juvenile delinquent, right, juvenile accused, in that case the right to privacy of the accused or convict, this is also very very important. Okay, privacy has to be maintained in both the cases, and that's where Supreme Court drew some kind of thin line, okay, what to be live streamed and what not to be live streamed. Okay, and for that Supreme Court given certain guidelines. Here are the guidelines you can see. One very important thing, for the guidelines or for the live stream, Supreme Court said there must be some structure, and in phased manner it has to be introduced. Second, case has to be of national importance or constitutional importance, then it only can be introduced or live streamed as a pilot project or the initial phase. Third, prior unanimous consent has to be taken from both the parties before given access to the live streaming to the public at large. Even after that, the court's discretion will definitely be there if any kind of serious threat of public unrest can be addressed or can be looked into, if that matter is of that essence. Uske baad, there are different cases like POXO, sexual assaults and all those cases, uske bare mein live streaming nahi kiya jayega. So these are the various guidelines you can very well see that has been given in this very particular case. So if one thing that I can say, Supreme Court has given very detailed guidelines in relation to live streaming. Having said that, live streaming has been launched and it probably will not be launched that faster, but COVID has fast-tracked that situation. It's a blessing in disguise, you can say, because COVID has caused a lot of things, but live streaming is one of the factors that we can get it very sooner because of the COVID, because every court and the Indian legal system has forced to think on that line, and now we have got the benefit of it. Now various different jurisdictions like Australia, New Zealand, these and other various countries, they have their live streaming of the different court proceeding, but here in this case, this live streaming definitely give rise to public faith and public confidence on the judiciary, which has been lost recently because of, you know, the press conference that was there from the Supreme Court judges, and even various contempt of court cases that has been filed recently. You can very well understand this. These things were going some other direction. The public faith were kind of getting diminished, and this particular live streaming will definitely act as catalyst to increase the public faith on the judiciary. What do you think? Do you support the live streaming or not? Because in LinkedIn, there are various senior advocates, they're posting, and I was checking, I'm just giving you my personal overview, personal opinion on that. I was checking, they're not really fond of this live streaming, because they said that how they're going to perform in the court or how they're going to argue in the court, that might get hampered. Let's see how the things are going to be in the future, okay? And what you think regarding that, please do let me know in the comment box, okay? So this is it from my side regarding the live streaming. I hope you have got all the necessary information that you need to know regarding the live streaming, and also the important cases like Swapnil Tripathi and Naresh Sridhar Mirajkar. So these are the things from my side. Thank you all of you. Have a great day and happy Dashera to all of you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to it and press the bell icon. Thank you.